Hello, my name is Sarah Payne and welcome to my series of videos on how to learn to crochet. So we're going to start with a very common set of stitches, which is a starting slip knot followed by a chain stitch. That's often how you'll either start in a straight piece like that with a chain stitch, so you can work up and down, or you'll loop it round to make it into a circle, and then you will be stitching in the round. Either way, they both start off the same way. So this is one of the ways you can start, especially useful if you're doing a long chain stitch, but it's a nice simple slip knot. Okay, so hold the yarn in your left hand and loop it round like that, holding the sort of intersection in your left hand with your thumb and finger, and then you just pull this little section up, you see, in like this, and it creates a slip knot. So when you hold on to that knot, you can see you can adjust the size of it, and you can pop your hook straight in here like this. All right, don't pull it too tight because you're going to want to be able to move your hook around to get started. But let's grab our yarn and wrap it around our hands. Now this is how I choose to crochet. There are lots of different ways that people hold things and it's totally up to you, but I take my little finger and I wrap the yarn around it like that. Okay, that's going to allow me to keep my yarn here under tension. Some people like to wrap it around that finger there, some people wrap it around both. It's really up to you. And then the other thing is where you actually do your crocheting, where you actually wrap around this yarn. I like to hold my crochet between my thumb and first finger like this, and then crochet in the gap. All right, some people hold it with their middle finger and then crochet in this gap here. Either way, it doesn't matter, whatever feels most comfortable to you, because what you're trying to do is hold on to the thread or your yarn here and then have a space in which this is held quite taut so that you can wrap your hook around it. So whichever way makes you feel more comfortable, and as I said, there are lots of ways of doing it, and this is mine. This is how I like to do it. So the first thing we need to do is wrap our hook here around the yarn. So we're going to come between our two fingers and grab hold of the yarn just here. Let me just zoom in a teensy bit. There we go. So you're going to twist this around, and you see as you pull it, it's going to catch in there, and we pull it through like that. All right, so this is our first stitch. There you can see your first little your first chain stitch there, sorry. And then we come back and pull that a little bit tighter. This is why I find this finger such a good one to use, because that's going to tighten up for me again, but not too tight, because you're going to need to stitch into these loops later. So we come back, wrap again and pull, and you'll notice when I'm pulling it through, I don't pull it through this way, because if I try and pull it through that way, the hook is going to catch on this stitch. You're not going to get anywhere. So you want to twist it in your hand so that it pulls through like that. Okay, so back here again, wrap round and through, and you can see we're adding little chains each time. So wrap around with the hook at the bottom and wrap around, and you can start to get quite quick with these little stitches. And then I have to stop every now and again and reposition the yarn around my little finger because it doesn't stay there forever. But each time I'm moving my crochet down as well, so that it's held between my first finger and my thumb. And here we go, and we can adjust it like this. Now, as I said, that first slip knot does not constitute a stitch. I like as well, when I take my hook out, I make my loop nice and big so it doesn't actually come untangled at all. But your pattern will tell you how many chain stitches you need to do, and you don't count that first little knot there because that's the slip knot. you should see that each stitch has like a loop on it. So that would be 1, 2, 3 loops there. If I bring it in a little bit closer, hopefully you'll be able to see. So there's, when you're counting them, we're not counting this little knot here, but then it'll be 1 loop, 2 loop, 3 loops, 4 loops, 5 loops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's how many chains are on there when I need to count it. So that is your chain stitch. You may continue in a straight line if you are working on something like an item of clothing, or you will bring it round if you're working in the round with a slip stitch, and we'll show you that in the next video. So this one was the slip knot at the beginning and a nice simple chain stitch. Have fun.